y'all, man. We got a link. Spider-Man No Way Home, full movie description and plot link. You know what I'm saying, though, man? So, hey, we'll get straight to the news. Leave a like to my channel. Hit the bell if you're new. And, yeah, though, man, we got 23 minutes, man. So, hey, man, grab your popcorn. Ooh, I got some food in the back. I'm about to eat. You know what I'm saying? We're about to listen to this full movie description and plot link. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of Spider-Man news has been happening this week. You know what I'm saying? A lot of links, a lot of everything. You know what I mean? A lot of everything been happening. The fandom, everything, y'all name it, been dropping this, you know what I'm saying, this week. You know what I'm saying? This, you know what I mean? So, hey. But, hey, straight to video, man. And, yeah, let's get it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, normally when we do a plot leak here at the channel of any kind, I tell you guys the same spoiler warning. Remember to take anything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios with a grain of salt, but that sometimes it's the anonymous 4chan plot leaks, the craziest ones, that end up becoming true. In the case of WandaVision, we were getting weekly episode descriptions literally every week for the back half of the season. Well, right when they released the Spider-Man official teaser, we saw a ton of details playing live out on screen that was reminiscent of a plot leak that was posted to 4chan.
Yeah, Angle man, that's what I was saying. I said way back, you know, when we did the other video. But I was saying though, on the when I was watching the teaser trailer, you know, with y'all, my people, I was saying like some of the plot links that, you know, my boy was doing and my other boys were doing, some of the plot links was actually true. Some of them was actually true, but I did take all of them as a grain of salt. But I look at the teaser trailer in my head, you know what I'm saying, still thinking about, you know, plot link, and some of that shit was true. No cap. Some of that shit was true. You see wizards as a decorating, that was on the plot link. You see the dungeon that Doctor Strange locked somebody in, all the villains, I think, you know what I mean? That was in the plot link. Some of the shit was like in the plot link was in the trailer. Real shit. So that's why I was like, damn, it was right. But I ain't say that when we got the link, because you know what I'm saying, you never know you're right or wrong till you watch the trailer or the movie, or, you know, some shit, you feel me? But yeah, some of that shit was right on point. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it was right on point, no cap.
A month or two before the actual release of that trailer, leading us to believe that the rest of the details in that very extensive and very detailed leak would be true. Now, unfortunately, that original post was removed from 4chan, but I was able to retrieve it from one of our videos that we did, actually find the source files for the text, which I'm going to provide in full as we read through it. And of course, now the spoiler warning comes back into play, but in a different way. It's not to take it with a grain of salt, but rather there was some stuff proven in this plot leak in the official teaser, which means there's probably truth in the rest of this, and if that's in any way going to ruin Spider-Man No Way Home, you might want to back out now. Also, if you're into daily Marvel content, that's all I cover here at the channel, so hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you for all the giveaways. Stick around to the end of the video, we'll get into that stuff again there. So enough with the spoiler warning and prologue, we're diving right in. It starts by saying I'm not going to tell you guys who I am or what kind of job I do at Marvel Studios, but I'm bringing this out because I'm frustrated. Well, I have not seen the movie, but I have read the script, and it goes like this. Also,
You sound frustrated. I have not seen the movie. Why are you so frustrated? Why are you frustrated?
So the trailer won't show Toby or Andrew, and it's full of fake scenes designed to throw you off. He was speaking about that original teaser.
First scene take place in a group of teenagers. Wait. Also, the trailer won't show Toby or Andrew. It is full of fake scenes. That's why I was saying. A lot of people saying that. I said the same shit. I like, it's a lot of holes, and I'm looking to it. It's like, it's a lot of holes in this motherfucking trailer. It's so much empty space. It's supposed to be somebody in those space. You know what I mean? It's like when you're in the scene with the Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, but Spider-Man suit, well, you know, tentacles. It was like a whole space for like 2 other people right behind them. And I'm like, what's going on? It's a lot of holes and shit, but they did that so the hype can still keep going on, which it is going on right now. It's still hype to Spider-Man. People want to know is Andrew and Tom McGuire's in the movie. You know what I mean? Type shit. But I say that shit too. Like, it's a lot of holes in this movie. Not movie, but in this trailer, the teaser trailer. A lot of holes in it. And there's supposed to be somebody in there. It might be Toby and Andrew, like he said. But I'm going to take a grain of salt, though. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But it sounds about right, though. Cause there's too many holes in this shit. No cap.
And since then other industry insiders have said the same thing. It starts Act 1. The first scene takes place in an abandoned building somewhere in New York at night. A group of teenagers are exploring the abandoned building for a live stream. They talk about how the place is supposedly haunted. They eventually encounter a mysterious figure stumbling out of the darkness, clad in green armor, but injured. The teenagers are scared, but they attempt to mock the figure. But they run as soon as the figure starts walking towards them. The figure is none other than Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, wearing his armor from 2002's Spider-Man movie, but without the helmet. An extended version of the breaking news report from the ending of Far From Home plays over the Marvel Studios logo. Then we see a montage of scenes broadcasting the same video we saw at the end of Far From Home when Mysterio exposes Peter as Spider-Man. And of course, J.K. Simmons' new version of J. Jonah Jameson. At the end of Far From Home when Mysterio exposes Peter as Spider-Man. And of course, J.K. Simmons' new version of J. Jonah Jameson. Spider-Man is holding his head in panic, just as he was at the end of Far From Home.
Yep, facts.
He looks back at MJ and then back at the screen. We then see the reactions of various people. We see Flash Thompson drop a snack from his mouth as he's watching, surprised at the fact that Peter is Spider-Man. Ned is with his mother, just as shocked. We then see the reactions of various people. We see Flash Thompson drop a snack from his mouth as he's watching, surprised at the fact that Peter is Spider-Man. Ned is with his mother, just as shocked. Spider-Man swings away as people look at him, telling MJ to meet him back at Queens. We did see them swim away in the trailer, by the way. Aunt May frantically calls him
Yeah, we did. Yep, we saw him in the teaser trailer. They was swinging. They was going somewhere.
About what's happening. Spidey tells her that he'll be home soon and that they should move away as he fears there might be a mob that will attack him at their home. Spider-Man arrives at the apartment building in Queens and they talk about what to do, calling Happy. Obviously, Aunt May, Ned, and MJ know that Peter is innocent. They also attempt to contact Nick Fury, but he doesn't answer, well, because he's in space, which we kind of know that too from the end of Far From Home. And there's a joke about Nick ghosting Peter back for not answering his call in Far From Home. Peter tells Aunt May that they may have time to figure things out since Peter Parker was just a normal teenager. So not many people will know where he lives anyway, but then they just as suddenly hear a bunch of people gathered outside yelling at them, including Brad Davis and a few other students from Peter's school who probably led the mob to his home. Happy attempts to pick up Peter and May from their apartment, but the people in front of their apartment building are getting in his way. Peter sees Happy outside the window, gesturing for them to get back down. Peter quickly changes to his civilian outfit, goes back down with May, and confronts the mob, pretending to not know what the hell is happening. Brad Davis calls him out and says that he should know what's happening since his face was just broadcast all over the world. Happy comes out of his car and escorts them to the car. In the car, they discuss what to do. Happy suggests hiring a lawyer so that they can settle this legally, as there's really nothing else they can do at this point. May says she might know someone. She pulls out her phone and starts contacting a lawyer. We cut to a courthouse. Peter is on trial. The lawyer is none other than Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox.
Do y'all still believe he gonna be a lawyer though? I believe so. I'm gonna take a grain of salt, but I believe so. It's gonna be Charlie Cox. But I'm gonna take a grain of salt still though. But let me know, y'all still believe it's gonna be him. Let me know kind of below. But yeah.
Cox. The witness is one of Mysterio's accomplices. The court battle gets heated as the accomplice presents new evidence showing more convincing footage of Peter killing Mysterio that was not shown to the public, quote unquote. It's a video doctored with high text so that it looks like Peter shot Mysterio point blank. They also mentioned that the video has been examined for any signs of fakery and none was found. Matt attempts to speak back, but he was cut off by the judge and branded guilty. Matt tells Peter that he'll find a way to
ain't give him no chances.
Fix this because he knows Peter is innocent, but also subtly implies that he also knows he's Spider-Man. This is the last we see of Matt Murdock, at least in this film. We've already confirmed here at the channel in one of our exclusives. Charlie Cox played Matt Murdock at least in one other cameo in the upcoming She-Hulk. Peter is arrested. He tells Aunt May that he has no choice but to serve his sentence and assures her he will be fine. Ned and MJ watch as police officers escort Peter out of the courtroom, past the crowd of people, and into a police car. We see a shot of Peter looking out the window of the police car, past the crowd yelling that Spider-Man is a murderer. Peter spends a day in prison, being bullied by other inmates, and he wouldn't fight back. In his cell, a tiny portal opens in front of him, and a piece of paper comes out. It's a paper that reads, 177A, Bleecker Street, hurry. Peter escapes through the barred window by breaking through the bars and crawling.
Damn, well, yeah, Spider-Man, he get through those tiny spaces, I ain't gonna lie. No cap.
Introducing and MJ are accompanying Aunt May so that she won't be lonely, and Peter crawls in through the window. May, Ned, and MJ are surprised and happy that Peter escaped, but also concerned that this would just ruin his reputation further. Peter tells him that Doctor Strange is calling for him and that he'll be going there. He recognized the portal. Ned and MJ ask to go with him. He disagrees at first, but eventually agrees after being convinced that they'll always face whatever's ahead together. Now, I want to take a minute and take a break from reading this to point out that when we see it in the official teaser, Spider-Man looks up at a Halloween decoration, decides to go ask Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I saw that though. That's what I was saying. Like, he looking at, he saw the wizard and he was like, "Oh wait, hold on, Doctor Strange. All right, let me go to him
for help." But what we saw in the first 3 original images from Ned, Peter, and MJ going to what looks like the Sanctum Sanctorum, it's in a completely different state of ruin. Some people have pointed out that one of the shadows in the image looks like a backlight on Doctor Strange's part in his hair. So this is where he could have been pointing out that that official teaser had a ton of fake scenes to mislead us. Maybe he doesn't go to Doctor Strange in that condition at all. Maybe that was a completely fake part of the trailer.
Oh, might be a fake Doctor Strange. But yeah, because he did say, I was saying there's a lot of missing holes in the trailer, teaser trailer, and I see it. We all see it. But I was like, oh yeah, I see it now. It's a lot of misleading thing, you know what I'm saying, in the teaser trailer. It's a lot of misleading shit. That's why a lot of people like, damn, what's going on? I'm saying, wait, I mean, I know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? In the same sentence. So it's like, but second trailer should tell us what's really going on, and they're gonna really tell us, like, you know what I mean, the actual trailer. Well, that was a trailer, but it was a lot of fake shit going on. You know what I mean? A lot of misleading shit. But the second trailer should be right on money, no cap. But yeah.
He wasn't asking for his help in that way. You could also understand why he's asking people to forget, because now he's serving a jail sentence and has already been found guilty in court. This
that's why he's saying that.
Would help erase that, not just the memory of everybody knowing him. It makes the ask make a lot more sense, and it also makes sense from Doctor Strange's point of view why he would have done that in the first place. They arrive at the Sanctum. They look around the place and then look up to see Doctor Strange dramatically floating down the stairs. The author of this plot leak confirms this is the picture where Tom, Zendaya, and Jacob are all looking up. Strange explains that something dire is happening.
Oh, that's that picture. Okay.
And that it's something far bigger than Peter's current issue. He leads them to a room with an orb in the middle, with a vein-like trails leading all over the area. He explains that the flow of time has somehow been disturbed and that many realities are starting to bleed into each other. Obviously, those who watched Loki will know what's happening.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because I told you Loki, or Loki started the whole, the Mount madness of multiverse, or multiverse of madness. She the one, that started Loki and shit, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. So that's why I told you, it ties in. It's going to tie in with Spider-Man somehow, in some way. Well, it is right now. Y'all see it. But, yeah. And then Spider-Man going to ties in with Doctor Strange, because it's dealing with the multiverse and shit. But, yeah, besides shit ties in, she the one that started the whole multi-madness. She killed them, you know what I'm saying? And everything broke loose. Everything went sideways, left, you know what I mean, went left real quick, no cap. Yeah.
Happening and why. That's the end scene with Kang and what happened when we watched the breaking of the multiverse. Yeah. Strange tells Peter that 2 timelines are merging into their own, but with the orb that he apparently dug up from somewhere has the ability to slow down the merging process, and he notes that it's not quite like the Reality Stone. Spider-Man asks why he did call him in particular and not someone else, similar to how he asks Nick Fury why he chose him to deal with the elementals in Far From Home. Strange says that he is somehow at the center of the current problem he's dealing with, a problem that's part of an even bigger problem. Doctor Strange explains he cannot leave the Sanctum as he has to keep reality stable, and that this is very difficult now with all the Infinity Stones having been destroyed, so he has to rely on pure magic. He tells Peter that the villains from various other realities are just like theirs, yet ever so slightly different, and have been transported to their reality. The realities all have something in common: Spider-Man. Doctor Strange reveals that the villains are taken from various points of the timeline of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies. Dr. Octopus, played by Alfred Molina, is taken from the Sam Raimi universe where he was floating underwater during the end of Spider-Man 2. Otto's consciousness is already dead, so it's replaced with the AI of the Tentacles. Sandman is taken from before he encountered the black suit Spider-Man at the sewers in Spider-Man 3. Electro is from after the events of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He has learned to control his powers to the point that he got his natural skin color back instead of being all blue all the time. He also wears a green and yellow outfit reminiscent of his classic suit. The Lizard is taken from Oscorp Tower during the final fight of The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Scorpion and the Vulture are from the MCU, and they have decided to team up with these other various versions.
Vulture, okay.
They are all working together under someone who, of course, is Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
Hey, they telling everything, man. That shit crazy, man. Hey, let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know in the comment down below what y'all think about it so far, man. This shit crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, this shit crazy. No cap.
Not know this yet. Quick side note, of course we do, because he was the first character revealed in the very intro of the movie according to this plot leak. That's called foreshadowing. To make sure that Peter is up for the task, Strange teleports Peter's Iron Spider suit to the Sanctum and combines it with magic, turning it into the integrated suit. He tells Peter that it'll allow him to use magic that will allow him to put the villains in stasis and put them in the Sanctum so Strange can bring them back to their respective universes and timelines. Peter actually ends up capturing all 5 of them and bringing them back to the Sanctum, but during his fight with Doc Ock, he gets heavily injured. 3 of the other villains are imprisoned in the Sanctum. Oh, Spider-Man heavily injured during a fight? You don't say. Sorry, it's like classic Spider-Man comic stuff. Going on. Later on, a recovering Peter talks to Sandman and learns that back in his reality, his daughter Penny is sick and that he's only been doing everything so he can save her. Peter recognizes the name and asks if her last name is Marco, to which Sandman says yes. Peter tells him that he knows a girl named Penny Marco in his school who was happy in the survivor of sickness and that his father, Flint, died during a bank robbery in an attempt to get money to save her. Sandman reveals that his name is also Flint and sheds a tear. Peter asks what he's like in Sandman's world, and he tells him that he only fought him once inside an armored vehicle. Ned, MJ, Peter, and also May, who also came to the Sanctum, spend the night there. They suddenly hear an explosion where the villains are imprisoned. Peter rushes back to where the villains are and found most of them have escaped already except for Sandman, who looks at him and says he's sorry before disappearing. Strange was caught off guard and injured by the explosion, and he says that the event has worsened reality's state. Strange warns Peter not to go after them while injured, but Peter says he can't just sit by and let innocent people get hurt because it's his responsibility. Spider-Man dons the integrated suit again. Strange gets an idea. Sandman is trying his best not to hurt him, but the rest of the villains nearly kill him.
Damn, so Sandman's like on his side, somewhat on his side, but it's like he anti-hero, but he anti-villain. You know what I mean? He just, I want to kill him, but I don't. But the other villains is like they just want to kill his ass. Like they don't give a fuck. Like kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But Sandman like, I ain't trying to kill you, but I'm trying to be with them. You know what I mean? So he both sides with it. Like that's what Sandman. But villains they ain't both sides. They want to kill his ass. Like they want to kill him. You feel me, man? Spider-Man. But Sandman like Sandman in the middle. Like he trying to be good, but also he got to join with the Sinister Six. So it's like. You feel me? Like that. I don't know what to choose.
Spider-Man ends up crashing into a rooftop, completely battered, more than he ever was before, where a figure clad in green and purple approaches. He takes off his hood, revealing him to be Norman Osborn of the Sam Raimi universe. The scene is an homage to that scene in Spider-Man 1 where Goblin talks to Tobey's Spidey after dosing him with sleeping gas. Norman reveals that he was taken from the end of Spider-Man 1 just seconds before he was about to be impaled by his own glider. At first, the scene is done with archive footage of the 2002 movie, but then it blends with a newly shot scene where Norman is suddenly teleported just as the glider crashes into the wall he was laying on. We also learn that he was actually sent into the past of the MCU, so he had time to actually murder the MCU's own Norman Osborn, preventing Oscorp from existing in the MCU. Instead of turning Oscorp into a big name, he instead waited for the right time to strike. At first, he thought the MCU didn't have a Spider-Man, but later found out about his existence because of the events of Homecoming and Far From Home. Norman prepares to kill him as he's learned his lesson not to let Spider-Man live so he wouldn't get in his way, but he's saved by none other than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man wearing his The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. At this point, I'm going to refer to them by their actors' names to avoid confusion. Norman shouts at Andrew and attacks him, but he gets thrown back. Andrew grabs Tom and takes him back to the Sanctum. Note that the script says something like cue The Amazing Spider-Man fanfare, which I assume is them playing the main theme of either The Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2 as Andrew's own personal theme music. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only scene we hear it though. Now Act 2. Back at the Sanctum, Ned, MJ, and May are surprised to see another Spider-Man carry Tom to them. There's a gag where MJ admires how tall this version of Spider-Man is. Andrew unmasks himself and says that he came here to help, noting that weird things have been happening back in his world as well. He was taken to the MCU a few months after the events of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Doctor Strange says that he used a forgotten spell that's able to pull inhabitants of other universes into the MCU, and while the Breach can do this as well by random, the spell allows him to specifically choose who to bring over, hoping that 2 Spider-Men are enough to fight the villains. Again, earlier when they mentioned Strange had an idea, it was to go get Andrew's Spider-Man to help Tom Holland. Again, they haven't noted in this plot leak at all yet why this is all centering around Spider-Man. Somewhere, the Sinister Six have formed a base. They are not called the Sinister Six during the movie, though. Sandman wants to go back to his universe, but the rest of the villains plan on killing the Spider-Man of this world.
Man, they some boy. They don't give a fuck what's going on and shit. They want to kill that motherfucker. No cap.
Instead, and conquering it,
that's what I was saying. They still didn't learn a lesson yet.
They no longer have any purpose back in their own worlds, as they are.
Nah, they didn't, because they all got beat up. No cap.
Already failed. Lizard notes that he hasn't failed yet, but Norman tells him that he was destined to, but perhaps it could have been different in this world. The plan on attacking Sanctum themselves, kill Strange and Spider-Man, steal the orb, and attempt to bring more versions of themselves into the MCU somehow.
How are they gonna do it? Huh?
I like that. That's pretty cool. Vulture and Scorpion then join them, picking up directly after their interaction in Homecoming's post-credit scene. Since they're not magic users, Norman has the idea of using the technology of the MCU's Norman to control the orb's power. However, this is found out by Doctor Strange himself, who uses an astral projection himself to infiltrate them. MJ and May talk with Andrew, asking him various questions. Ned and Tom stare at him at a distance. Ned says something like, "Dude, how is he you? You guys look nothing alike." Andrew approaches Tom and says he has a cool outfit and that he did well out there. Tom says that his suit was made by Tony Stark and that he's pretty sure he got his ass kicked. Tom asks Andrew if he knows Tony Stark, but Andrew doesn't recognize the name. The two bond when they start talking about their differences and similarities. It's things like the fact that Andrew doesn't know a Ned, while Tom doesn't know a Harry. Tom quips that he's been to space, but Andrew says he technically beats him going to space by literally going to another dimension, but he does note that he's never been to space. Andrew says that MJ is a nice girl and that Tom is lucky to have her. Tom assumes that Andrew also has an MJ of his own, but he only gets reminded of Gwen Stacy. Before Tom and Andrew can finish their conversation, Strange interrupts them and says that they need to prepare as the villains are now coming after them. Strange says that he'll help in any way he can, but he won't be able to give Spider-Man any more of his magic. But Tom assures him they can just build new armor suits to better protect themselves. Happy is informed by Tom that they'll need the tech over at Strange's Sanctum. Meanwhile, Spider-Man's reputation is further damaged after his escape from prison and his fight with the Sinister Six. Flash is the one being bullied at school this time for supporting Spider-Man. With Happy's help, Tom and Andrew build new suits for themselves. Tom gets a black and gold suit, while Andrew gets what's described as a high-tech suit and somewhat resembles black and gold classic Iron Spider suit. While Andrew gets a high-tech suit, it's Tom who is able to use magic. Tom and MJ share a moment together outside. MJ tells Tom about how she's worried they won't be together for a long time because of the amount of danger Tom now finds himself in. Tom assures her that they'll be together as long as possible and that he will never let anything happen to himself or her, and they share a kiss. We cut to an NYC at...
Aww. That was cute right there. That was cute right there, man. That was cute right there, man. No cat. No, that was cute, man.
Sunset and see a young woman being mugged by a thug played by Harry Holland. The thug is webbed up by Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big...
His suit closely resembles his classic suit from the Sam Raimi movies with raised webbing, but is described as looking more sleek with a slightly smaller eye design. Toby asks the woman if she's okay. Toby then takes a break at the rooftop, takes off his mask, and gets a call by Kirsten Dunst's MJ through his cell phone. Cut to their living room where she is caring for their daughter named May Parker and tells her that they're almost out of pancake mix. They then start talking about Toby's decision of retiring as Spider-Man, as other heroes are now appearing in the world. It doesn't say who these heroes are, and it's only revealed through Toby's dialogue. It's not written anywhere in the script who they are either. Toby arrives home, plays with his daughter, and then has to talk with Mary Jane about how he needs to be there more for his child. Toby promises that he'll take it easy now. We also get to see a newspaper that seemingly implies the events of the canceled Spider-Man 4 movie actually happened, or at least a version of it. Act 3.
So they're gonna show the council. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Norman Osborn approaches the entrance of the Sanctum at midnight. He knew that Strange was expecting him. He monologues about how this new world is a chance for him to have something for himself, a chance to get something bigger than he had back in the Sam Raimi movies. The rest of the Sinister Six start wrecking the Sanctum, but it's seemingly empty. However, Tom lands a dropkick on Electro's head after blending in a dark spot above him. As the two Spider-Men fight with the Sinister Six inside, we get to see various Strange-related Easter eggs from the comics, as well as other Marvel lore. A rematch against Andrew and the Lizard happens, in which Andrew tells him how he failed in his plan to turn everyone into reptiles, and how he himself turned back into Kirk Connors. A copy of Strange does his part in the fighting as well, but ends up getting knocked out unconscious due to being weakened from trying to bind reality from breaking. The fight is a pretty big one and ends with the two Spider-Men injured.
And they going crazy, man. No, this fight going crazy. Everybody going crazy on this fight.
They were able to subdue the Lizard, Scorpion, Vulture, and Doc Ock. Tom attempts to capture Norman, but he catches him off guard and stabs him with a blade through the shoulder. However, Sandman betrays Norman and attacks him. Sandman is then killed after Norman detonated what seemed to be like pumpkin bombs filled with fluid. Turns out, Norman has a contingency plan that can kill any of the villains should they ever betray him. Tom yells at Norman and attempts to attack him yet again, but Norman summons a new glider that he stole from an old project run by the MCU's own Norman. While the two Spider-Men put up a good fight against him, they are ultimately overwhelmed by the glider's weapons, destroying their new suits. With the two Spider-Men down for the count, MJ strikes Norman in the head with a steel pipe, but it didn't hurt him. Norman slowly turns his attention to MJ. Tom screams at MJ to run, but Norman grabs her by the back of the neck and tosses her across the room, slamming into a wall rather brutally.
Damn, he grabbed. I was gonna do it wrong. Dang, Norman grabs her by the neck, and toss her little ass by a room and slam her through the. Damn. Him, they don't got no respect. God damn, don't got no heart. Shit, he grab a nigga and toss her little ass. Damn.
Tom screams, but is knocked down by Norman with one punch. Norman goes into the room where Strange's physical body is. The two have dialogue together. Norman says that Strange has spent too much time on trying to maintain reality and that he's been severely weakened. Norman attempts to go for the kill, but Strange lets go of the orb and fights Norman, but not before doing a brief spell on the orb that makes it glow red briefly. Norman is no match against Strange, but Electro then appears and takes the orb while Strange is distracted. Strange attempts to cast a portal in front of Electro as he attempts to escape, but Norman grabs Strange and throws him against a wall.
He throw Norman, grabs Strange and throw him against the wall. God damn, Norman going crazy. Norman is going crazy, man. No cap.
Strange gets back up, but they have disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Kills MJ, who starts bleeding from the nose, mirroring the moment that Andrew lost Gwen in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Andrew takes off his mask in shock. MJ dies. Ned and May console Tom, but Strange tells him that they've escaped with the...
Wait. Andrew takes off the mask, MJ died. Ned and May... MJ dies? Damn. That shit crazy.
The orb, but he has brought one last backup, even though it isn't much. Andrew tells Tom about how he lost Gwen Stacy. Tom then shares how he lost Tony Stark, his own version of Uncle Ben, and now MJ.
Dang, now MJ. They said somebody gonna die though. Damn, MJ. Damn. That shit crazy.
They talk about how being Spider-Man will always lead to suffering, but they must persevere. Andrew tells Tom about how much he was always wished for a second chance at saving Gwen's life, no matter in which form. Tom considers quitting being Spider-Man and just living his life as a criminal in jail, but Andrew tells him that he's unique in this world and
yeah, don't quit, Spider-Man. Don't quit, man. God damn, don't quit. Shit.
Being Spider-Man might not always be a great time. It definitely brings happiness to others. Back in the Sam Raimi universe, Toby is telling a speech to his daughter about how he thinks she'll grow up to be someone wonderful, but then a portal opens behind him. Mary Jane comes into the room as well. The final fight is the Sinister Six against the 3 Spider-Men. I've decided to skip a lot of scenes as they're mostly just dialogue.
Love gaming? If you woke up tomorrow morning with a job in gaming or
in character development, the fight ends with Norman attempting to bring back more versions of the Sinister Six over, but you don't get to see them, but all 3 Spider-Men gang up on him. The 2 other Spider-Men attempt to hold back the Sinister Six, while Tom attempts to use the orb to bring everyone back to their respective timelines. But Norman's tinkering with it has damaged it because it's overloaded with energy, and using it risks destroying it. If the orb is destroyed, Strange will have nothing to use to at least to try to fix the multiverse. Portals start appearing from the sky, buildings and cars, even people start falling from them. Tom successfully sends all the villains and the other 2 Spider-Men back to their respective timelines. Norman is put back at the last second before he's impaled by his glider. Luckily, the orb didn't break, but it's heavily cracked. Tom thinks about using the orb to bring MJ back to life and get his secret identity back. Strange warns him not to do that, but Tom doesn't listen and does it anyway.
Oh my goodness, Tom. Tom Holland, folks. Tom. That's all I gotta say is Tom. Tom, man. He all doing some stupid shit, man. That's all I gotta say. Y'all doing some stupid shit though. No cap.
The orb breaks, and then Tom looks around as something happens. Similar to when Thanos snapped his fingers, Strange asks, "What has he done?" and the screen fades to white. We cut to Tom waking up in his bed. He greets Aunt May good morning and heads to school. At school, he meets Ned. They see MJ walk past in the hallway, but she doesn't recognize them, and she also seems more popular than she was before.
So they did bring back MJ, but they ain't bring back the MJ that they know. Damn, that's crazy.
Tom recognizes her, becomes sad seeing her, but Ned doesn't, and he just says that she's out of their league. We see somber montage of a depressed Tom going about his day in school. There's also a class about alternate dimensions. Tom walks out of the classroom after class and bumps into a blonde girl. They say sorry to each other and make eye contact, but we don't get to see the girl's face. Cut to black while we hear Tom ask the girl's name. Movie ends. There you have it, guys. That's the full description of the film that nailed a lot of the things we saw in the trailer. Now, while the trailer had some fake scenes, this seems to have nailed that part of it too. So let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. Of course, we're still giving away a PlayStation to 900,000 subscribers. If you enjoy this kind of content anyway, consider hitting the subscribe button and leaving a comment down below. Of course, hitting the notification bell with all notifications turned on helps you keep up with the content best. And I'd appreciate it if you liked today's video, if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me over on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. Also, find me on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you listen to original music under All Fires. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.
Nah, that was a lot right there, though. That was a lot. But hey, I fuck with these, man. I like these full movie description and plot links. But I'm going to take this as a grain of salt, though, man. I'm going to take it as a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I ain't going to say it's legit. I ain't going to say it's real. I'm going to take a grain of salt, though. I'm going to be 50-50 with it. You know what I mean? But some of the shit plot links was true at the teaser trailer. I ain't going to lie. I look back at the teaser trailer. I look back at the plot link. I'm like, some of them shit was legit, though. I cannot lie. But yeah, man, I fuck with these full movie description, man, plot link. Let me know y'all fuck with this, man. Let me know in the comment down below. But yeah, that was Spider-Man No Way Home. And yeah, we got about 2 months for the movie come out, though, man. We got 1 month for the trailer, because they said it's come out in November, you know what I'm saying? But we see, though. But yeah, leave a like to my channel, man. And yeah, I'm out. Alright. Peace.